What is going on, guys? Bisectatron here, bringing you today's video, and we are taking a look at some of the best defensive pairs in Clash of Clans. These are defenses, traps, heroes, all kinds of stuff in base building that you want to pair with each other because they really complement each other well. Something you may notice if you're building bases is that certain things tend to work well together, whether it's putting your queen next to something or putting a certain defense next to something else. So that's the focus of today's video, a bunch of cool examples that I think you guys can learn a lot from, and let's get right into it with the first one here. This is putting your wizard tower or your bomb tower near the bombs, not giant bombs, just regular sized bombs, and that is going to be very effective at killing hog riders and miners towards the end of the attack, or even in the middle of the attack if a group of them strays off to the side. This is something you want to do not in the main part of your base where heal spells are going to be used. So you can see in this example we have some dead space, maybe there's a bunch of expos and Inferno towers kind of more towards the core of the base, but in this outer compartment, separated from everything else, we might have a wizard tower, bomb tower or two, and they can do quite a bit of splash damage, but typically not quite enough to kill a group of hogs or a group of miners. So if you have these small bombs in pairs of 3 or even 6, if you can fit them around wizard towers and bomb towers, it can add more of that splash damage, and paired with a bomb tower or a wizard tower, it can get very close to taking out an entire group of hogs or miners. So this is a great way to not have to use your giant bombs there, but just use the regular sized bombs and potentially ruin a hog attack that would otherwise be successful, or a hybrid attack, for example. So look to use that. Next example is pretty straightforward. I just want to remind you guys, a great place to put your red air bombs is near your expos, and that helps spread out the air damage, especially the air splash damage on your base to defend against Lalo. Oftentimes balloons will be moving through your base, and the attacker will be expecting the splash damage around wizard towers. They might have a heal spell for there, or they might have a haste spell to prevent the damage from ramping up too much from that wizard tower. If you put the red air bombs by the expos, you're going to have that splash damage in a place they don't expect, and also it takes a lot of balloons to kill an expo because it has quite a bit of hit points, so the odds are there's going to be a big group of balloons headed at your expo, which means these red air bombs will get that much more value by being able to affect all of the balloons in that group. So this is a great way to spread out your splash and defend against Lalo. Put the red air bombs next to your expos rather than your wizard towers, which is maybe where the attacker would expect them. Okay, let's move on. This is another simple example. King next to eagle. Oftentimes at maybe Town Hall 13 or even lower, Town Hall 12 or 11, the attacker wants to use the king, the queen, the royal champion, just a few troops to try to get in there and take out the eagle. This will ensure that that's not possible. I myself, as an attacker, I've used my royal champion to kind of sneak in and take out the eagle if it's close to the outside of the base. If the king is there, that's no longer possible because the royal champion will target the king once he targets her, and it'll basically ruin the entire push with the royal champion. So use him to defend the eagle, and also he can defend the town hall too at Town Hall 12 and 13. So keep that in mind, which one is more important to guard for some kind of Sui hero or very small investment attack method that might be used to take out your eagle or your town hall. This next one I've been preaching on the channel for a long time, using the spring trap and the Tesla together. And you can also do this with the air sweeper or the Inferno tower. The idea being they're all 2x2 defenses instead of 3x3. Much better at killing hogs and miners with the spring trap, because the angle at which they're going to approach the Tesla is going to cause them to bunch up much more. So in a traditional base, maybe you'd have your spring traps between 2 3x3 buildings like that, and there's a good chance that you might not get the full value of springing off 3 hogs or 3 miners. If you do it like this, there's a much better chance using this diagonal method in this case. But even if they're just lined up as the cannon and archer tower are, having a smaller building will force the troops to kind of move into a tighter group to approach it, which will mean the spring trap will have a better chance of getting all 3 of the hogs or miners that it's able to do. So look to use the spring trap near the Tesla. Moving right along here, this one is something I've covered a little bit in the past. Putting the skeleton trap near the Inferno, especially for Town Hall 10 and 11 if you're defending against miners. This is a great way to kind of stop that because it'll cause the miners to get stuck on them while the Inferno tower does damage as a multi-Inferno. Also, the storages are a good thing to put next to your Inferno for the same reason. It'll hold up miners as they are targeting the storage. The Inferno tower does damage. But also, for those of you Town Hall 13s or maybe Town Hall 12s that use the single Infernos, the skeleton trap can take the queen, can take her fire, cause her to delay, and allow the Inferno tower to lock onto her, force the ability, or even take her out completely by taking up some of her shots and stalling her once she's in range of the Inferno tower. So whether it's a single or a multi, look to use the skeleton trap near it. This next one is something more recent, especially with the lightning spell. Using the warden near your queen can be the difference sometimes between her being taken out by lightning spells and not. Sometimes it won't quite hit her directly as she moves, and having that little extra hit points provided by the Grand Warden in his defensive aura that produces a few more hit points for the queen, that can help her stay up. In addition, for like a queen charge, this adds a lot of damage that comes very quickly. The warden does a ton of damage in one burst, same with the queen. So if there's a queen charge and the attacker is trying to use the rage spell to keep up the queen with her healers, the combination of the Grand Warden and the defensive queen can do enough damage to take out the queen before the rage is able to really take effect. So it packs a lot of damage into one small place by pairing the warden and the queen together. So another good reason to use them side by side in the base. This one I like as well, using the giant bombs near the air sweepers. Especially for hog attacks, this is a great way to force a heal spell in a place where the heal spell won't get much value, since there's no actual defensive building that will be targeting them. It's just an air sweeper that deals with air troops. Also, this tends to make sure your giant bombs are central in the base, able to kill bowlers or Yeti mites, whatever is moving through the core of your base. So I like using the giant bombs, typically at least some of them, near those air sweepers in the middle of the base there. And if a group of hogs or miners has to go across it, it forces a heal spell in a place that typically the attacker doesn't want to use a heal. Alright, one bonus. This is something not to do. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. Don't put your tornado trap near your air defenses. Reason being, if a lava hound comes here, it's going to trigger that tornado trap, and it doesn't matter if the lava hound's not able to really move. The point is the lava hound's still tanking, it's still doing its job. You want your tornado trap to target balloons in the case of a La Lune attack, not lava hounds. Also, lava pups can trigger the tornado trap, which is a huge waste. So keep your tornado trap typically out of range of the air defense, so that far away or more, to prevent a lava pup or a lava hound from triggering it, which isn't always possible if the lava hound comes at a weird angle, but typically that'll do a pretty good job preventing that from happening and making sure that the tornado activates on balloons instead of lava hounds. Gets you a lot more value that way. Alright, that covers it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed and learned something. Definitely like making these defensive videos for you guys. If you're interested in getting your own custom war base, look at the information above for my Patreon. Link is always below in the description, and you can check out some of the other perks there as well. Be sure to enter my creator code, as you'll be reminded in just a moment. Thanks for watching. I will get you guys the results of that poll very soon on some of the content that you guys want to see. I asked last week what town hall levels you're interested in, so I'll share that in the next video, and we'll go from there. That'll do it. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoy my content, consider supporting the channel by entering my creator boost code, bisect, in the settings tab of your game, and keep in mind it occasionally resets and must be re-entered. Click or tap for another video and be sure to subscribe. See you all next time. Bisectatron out.